Guys, it's Tony with Urban Girl Scout Media, living the dream as always, and coming to you today to talk about the historic metagame. And this is actually kind of a prediction video for me. You see, it's March 17th. We're coming up on Strixhaven. Strixhaven spoiler season's coming up pretty quickly here. So I wanted to take a moment and talk about with the historic meta, what I predict will be some decks that could stand to actually get better with Strixhaven. Couple things to run down real quick. First off, as always, if you recognize any of the video game music, I do not own it, but if you recognize any of it, comment it below, and that will enter you into drawings for free stuff each month. And then second is Strixhaven itself. So we know Strixhaven is going to be, wizards and things like that. And I think that wizards are about spells and stuff of that effect. So really, I think it would be fair just to start out with, I think Azuria's Control and Mono Blue Tempo are both going to be very good coming out of Strixhaven. I think that they will get some help. Azuria's Control specifically, that Shark Typhoon is a monster card in the deck. We'll go ahead and pull it up here just so you guys can see it real quick. The deck itself, pretty straightforward, but that Shark Typhoon's nothing to scoff at. You get the ability, you get the blue shark creature with flying. Whenever you cast that spell, it adds up quick. So this deck is actually pretty tough. Remove the ads here. They don't get no free shine. The deck itself runs pretty straightforward. They're going to try and slow you down the first or second turn. Basically, we're going to try and last. If we're running this deck, we're going to try and last until we get out the Shark Typhoon. There's a couple of other cards in here that might help you along the way, but I think Shark Typhoon's really the main way to win. That and Teferi, right? I mean, so I think it stands to reason that this deck will likely benefit from some of the stuff that comes into the format from Strixhaven. Same with Mono Blue. But I want to throw something at you guys that maybe you didn't think about, and that is, these Loris decks. I think Loris actually stands to gain quite a bit from Loris decks in general stand to gain quite a bit. And there's a few cards with this, like Dreadhorde Arcanus. I think that's going to be a card that'll actually be very happy to see some of these new spells enter the format. You come down here and you talk about Loris using cards like Dreadhorde Arcanus and Young Pyromancer. I think that that's a deck actually that is going to stand to really benefit. And I really like the idea of using Loris with these two cards specifically, Dreadhorde Arcanus and Young Peasy. I just think that that makes a very tough loop with those creatures. Now, I don't run Loris as a commander, or a companion, sorry, too many different formats, but I do think he is, like, these two cards are going to get a little bit better in red, but I think Loris with those two, especially in this Jund, or in this Rakdos colors, I think it's going to be really good. The other one I'd keep an eye on is going to be Colorless Ramp. And I think just because of the fact that it's colorless in general, I do believe that Strixhaven is going to have a good artifact influence in it. And obviously with Mono Black being the color that is used in this deck, that might be helpful as well. But I really think that there will be some sort of, like Guardian Idol, for example. This is a card that pretty heavily played card, and it's not a bad card at all when you look at it. I think we're going to get something like this where it's that kind of magical element of, it could be this or it could be that. You can turn it into something else. So I think we'll get a creature like that, and I do think we'll get something similar to Mind Stone, or even Hedron Archive. just in that effect. So that's really all I had here. Not a super long video or super in-depth video. There's a few other decks out there that are floating around that definitely seem to be doing decent. But overall, I think that your Azurius Control Mono Blue Tempo is going to do really well coming out of Strixhaven. I'm excited to see what the spoilers are going to be. And then Colorless Ramp, and I think really Rakdos Arcanus is the one that I would pick out of the two Loris decks that we have. I think Loris with that Rakdos color scheme is going to be really powerful. And that I'm not even really considering the schools as much as just the fact that you don't need to be both these colors to be in these decks. It can be either one, right? So red or black spells, white or blue spells. That's how I'm looking at it. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time.